you got to worry about antibiotics, antacids, and laxatives. Okay? Antibiotics destroy the bad bacteria, but they also destroy the what? Good bacteria. You've spent your whole life building up your good bacteria. Your bacteria, your biome, your gut learns from the colds and sicknesses and diseases that you go through. And when a baby's born naturally, vaginally, that passes on the parents' learning process of their biome is passed on to the babies. And so anytime you disrupt that, C-sections or all kinds of chemicals, all kinds of antibiotics, you disrupt that. And so when you start to go through this, we have a friend that they're giving their kid antibiotics because she has acne as a teenager. And I'm like, I understand you're doing it for mental reasons because, who wants to be a teenage girl with acne? But do you realize that you're setting her up for so many more problems down in the future because now her gut's going to be completely destroyed and you're undoing all the years of stuff that you've had that her body's learned how to be able to fight colds and sicknesses and fevers and all this kind of stuff. Pretty fascinating, right? So antacids, that was me. Like you take an antacid, it decreases your acid in your stomach, but guess what your stomach does? It starts creating more. Why? Because there was a reason it was high. It's trying to do something. When it's high, it's trying to do something. So you start to disrupt how the body can actually go through its process. Toxins in the kitchen. Here's the kitchen one for cleaners. Cleaners, storage containers, pots and pans, and food. Okay. So one of the easy ones we did is we changed our cleaners first. We also got more glass storage containers. Glass. You don't want to use plastics. Okay. And then the other one was of course, we talked about food already, but pots and pans. If you're going to be cooking in something, you really got to look at your pots and pans. Okay. Stainless steel. Anything that is going to be convenient usually means it's probably not going to be as good for you, right? So you got to be very super careful. This link here will kind of give you some ideas. EWG is a great resource for this stuff. Questions about this stuff? And again, don't start with everything. Don't go home and throw all your pots and pans out, right? But start with one good one, right? Start with one good one and start there. And then every year that goes by, Christmas, get yourself another one, right? So start there. Also in your laundry detergent. Detergent, stain removers, bleach. Again, you know what though? If you're like me, if you work out a lot of times the clothes have a lot of chemicals, a lot of smells to it. And so sometimes you're tempted to use chemicals, especially if you have kids, that you're trying to get stains out of stuff and everything like that. But man, convenience, you're losing stuff with the more convenience you have, you're losing stuff that comes with it. So you've got to be aware of these things. There's fragrances, there's all kinds of endocrine disruptors that are in these things. Anything that probably smells good, it's probably too good to be true, right? All right, terminating toxins with peace. Stress lessful is stressful. Stressing less is stressful. I figured it out now. Here's what it means. You guys ever been to a stress management workshop or talked about stress management? If you start thinking about stressing less, that's stressful. That's what it means. So we call it peace management. Okay? What can you do in your life that will bring more peace to you? Okay, think about that. What is stressful in your life and what can you do to bring more peace to your life? Couple things that I do, and this is what I use personally. And this morning was a great example of this. I lay my clothes out the night before. I literally before I go to bed at night. Here's what I do. I take my planner and I plan out my day. I knew where I was going to be sitting right now at this time, right? I knew. I didn't know there was going to be 51 was going to be shut down. I didn't know those things. I can only control what I can control, right? But I also knew that I was going to work out. My alarm goes off at 5:03. Don't ask me why that number. It's not significant for anything. It's not a Bible verse that I know of yet, so maybe there is. But I get up at 5:03. And so immediately go to the sink, brush my teeth with no chemicals, right? Splash water on my face, right? And I have my workout clothes ready. I had workout clothes. I went for a run, 45-minute run with the dog this morning. Why? Because I had his leash. I had everything. I had his poop bag. I had everything that I needed. I had all my stuff. Everything was ready to go. I didn't want to go for a run this morning. If I wouldn't have laid the stuff out, I would have laid in bed. I promise you that. Because I just know I laid it out. It's there. Then I showered and came to work. I already had this, what you're seeing here. I had this laid. Believe it or not, I put this together last night. Okay, so, but I put it together last night. Why? Because I knew exactly everything, socks, everything, it was all laid out. Why? Because I had to be able to shower, turn it around, and be here by 6:45, 6:50 is the time that we came in this morning, okay? And so I also, in the morning, we do a huddle with the team where we go through all your guys' names and everybody who's going to come, and we also pray for the group, and I usually bring something to the group. It's called our huddle. It's something for inspiration. I also put that together last night, right? And then we had a meeting after shift this morning. I put that also together last night. Why? Again, it's peace management. I could have put that all together today, and I could have scrambled for it. But I know that if I can put things ahead the day before, it creates more peace in my life, obviously. And it's my second daughter's 18th birthday today, so I know where I'm going right after this too, okay? So just so you guys know. But peace management, that's a big piece of it. Is you have to start to cause stress as a toxin. And so Bruce Lipton, if you ever get a chance to watch any Bruce Lipton stuff, I love it because he's more of a... he understands that sickness and disease comes from environment and it's not genetic. He's big on epigenetics. What turns genes on and off, right? Bruce Lipton is his name. It's great stuff. And so he talks about growth state versus protection state. Growth state, that produces great hormones inside your body, and a protection state, meaning that you're living in lack or living in hate, right? Growth state is love, peace, joy, fruit, spirit, right? That's what growth state is. That's scientifically, this is what he's explaining. And these are things that are actually the elements that are exposed in the body that are actually let go when you're in a growth state is dopamine, oxytocin, vasopressin. These are all growth hormones that enhance vitality and health of the 50 trillion cells that are inside your body. But when you're in a protection state, these are the things that increase cortisol, adrenaline, norepinephrine, epinephrine. These are the hormones that are stress hormones, and they cause aging in the body faster than you ever. And they decrease your health and they decrease your energy. And so no wonder. And so what's big is one of the ways that he talks about is he's like, well, why don't we start to find things that are peaceful for you? Take a walk, journaling, reading, quality time with family, laying out your clothes the night before, right? Planning, dreaming, moving forward. One of the things that I've found in my lifetime is that if I'm stressed, if I go find a way to help somebody else, that creates the hormones that I need that actually bring me more peace than anything else. Sometimes when we're so focused on ourselves and all the negative stuff and all the stress that's coming in our life, it's biblical, right? It's that we go help people. When you go help somebody else, even though you have problems, it actually produces better hormones for your body. It's peace management. You stop thinking about yourself as much, right? And so,
if you don't think about you all the time, you don't remember what's going on.
100%.
You can't feel it.
Simple things. Some of you guys need to do this. You guys need to do a technology detox. Get rid of the stuff. It's the scariest thing in the whole wide world, right? Yeah. Get rid of the technology. It's hard because we're connected to it. We're addicted to it. It's like a drug. It is a drug. Yeah. It's dopamine, it's serotonin, it's the hits, right? Yeah. We're drug users, basically, is what it is. And it's nonstop. It's nonstop hits over and over and over and over again. And so getting technology detox is huge. Just do it for a little bit or put limitations on it. Say, I'll check it for 15 minutes. When I've gone through periods of my life where I do technology detox, best thing I've ever done in my whole world. Number 4, sweat more. Okay? Sweat more. Toxins are released when you sweat more. BPA and PCBs, these things are actually released from your body when you sweat more. Some of you guys, have you guys sweated in the last 2 days? Anybody sweat? Yeah, have you sweat? Okay. Sweat. Think about it. You've got to do things that make you sweat. We're supposed to sweat. And so if you're exercising and not sweating, you've got to find a way to do different types of exercise that you can start to sweat. The best ways we can get rid of any toxins are through breathing, deep breathing. Breathing actually is a detoxer, but also sweating is a massive detoxer. You hear people talk about saunas, right? Doing saunas, infrared saunas. Those are great. But guess what? The best way that your body's designed to detox is through what? Sweating. Figure out how to turn up the temperature from the inside by working out, exercising, moving your body, doing stuff like that. That helps. Blood, urine, and sweat are the ways that your body gets rid of garbage the best. Sweating is one of the massive ways. High intensity, short duration, it doesn't have to be a lot. Like I could literally take you guys through a 10-minute exercise right now. Actually, Michaela could. She's more creative with that stuff. We could do 1 minute of burpees, 1 minute of push-ups, 1 minute of sit-ups, 1 minute of walking around the building, and before you know it, in 4 or 5 minutes, you guys will be sweating already. You just have to move more. Some of you guys just have to be more intentional. If you need help with that, Michaela is a great resource. She will help. Do you still put together the 6 workouts? She has 6 workouts that she puts out every single week. These are simple workouts that you can do in your own house with body weight. You don't have to go to a fancy gym. You don't have to, You don't have to spend a lot of money, and you just have to start moving is what you have to do. She'll help you with that. Step 5, my favorite, terminating toxins, keep your spine aligned. Again, remember, nerve system, your brain controls everything. And so brain, spinal cord, nerve system has to work at its highest level. Can you be here? Well, since Adam and Eve sinned, no, you can't be here, right? So we always have to be, we're at less than 100%, but we always want to be moving as far as this way as we possibly can. We want to avoid 0% because at 0% function of the nerve system, you're what?
Dead.
You're dead, okay? So we want to make sure that we work through these things. Now, here's what's great about this, is that as your body's nerve system is able to detox, remember I said before, you guys, we scratch our head. You guys know people that smoke, drink, do everything wrong, and they're still living when they're 95 years old, right? You also know the other side of it. You know people that are young, that look healthy, that their friends of yours are just like, they don't smoke, they don't drink, they do anything wrong, but they have cancer, heart disease, diabetes. What's the difference? The missing key, the missing factor is how well is their body able to heal or adapt, okay? This is where the rubber meets the road for all this stuff that I'm talking about. When God designed all living things, they all have this innate intelligence, this inborn intelligence that they want to survive. If you take a plant and you turn it away from the sun, what does the plant want to do? It wants to turn its leaves back to the sun. Why? Because it wants to survive. If you don't water that plant, what does the root system do? It goes deeper. Why? Because it wants to survive, right? Our bodies are way more complex. It wants to survive. If you don't feed it the right vitamins, if you don't feed it the right food, it will still try to find a way to survive, right? If you don't exercise, if you don't work out, it'll try to find a way to survive. But it wants to have the resources. That's why I talk about eating right and exercising and detoxing your body, right? But its adaptability factor, the thing that allows it to adapt is the nerve system. It's your brain, your spinal cord, your nerve system. That is the adaptability factor. Your brain has hundreds of billions of neurons up here, has hundreds of millions of nerve cells, and the nerves all come together and they form your spinal cord. And as the nerves of the spinal cord come together, they go straight down the spinal cord and they come out in pairs out to all your organ cells and tissues. The nerves up here go to your sinus, ears, eyes, nose, throat. The nerves a little bit further down control your thyroid, control your glands. They control your hormones, controls your immune system. It also affects the cervical spine, also affects the prefrontal cortex of your brain, and it can affect serotonin, dopamine, your happy hormones, how you sleep, how you focus, how your immune system is. So all the pieces, if you go through that on the whole spine, it's amazing. Now, if I take the nerves that go to your heart right here, the middle of the back, the nerves that go, if I cut all the nerves to the heart, and the heart's working perfectly and the nerves are working perfectly, if I cut the nerves to the heart, what happens to the heart? It stops. If I cut the nerves to your leg, what happens to your leg? If I cut the nerves that go to your stomach, what happens to your stomach? It dies, right? So we don't see cut nerves, but we see our choked, damaged, or stressed nerves are what we start to see. And so what happens is these show up as warning signs. As your body loses its function, as you start to lose function, it's not until you hit 60% function. This is when the neck pain, back pain shows up. And this is what's fascinating. People think chiropractors are neck pain and back pain doctors. There's a lot of chiropractors out there that do that. They're great. Go get, if you want only neck pain and back pain treatments, it's no different than taking a medicine, right? It's no different than just taking a pill or drug for a back pain or neck pain, because all it does is just helps with the symptomatic base. Well, listen, don't hear this wrong. I don't really care about your neck pain and back pain. What I care about is your neck pain and back pain is your warning signals of your body trying to say, I've got something wrong here. If you have digestive problems, if you have depression, if you have anxiety, if you have heart disease, if you have cancer, that's just your body trying to say something's not functioning right. And what I want to do is I don't want to just adjust you just so you get to the spot where you have no symptoms. Because if I just adjust you to here, I'm just adjusting you so you're just gonna die with less aches and pains. That's all it is. What my job is and what our goal is, you saw this in our mission statement at the beginning, let's move you as far as over here as you possibly can, and let's keep you here for how long? For the rest of your life, right? Because if we can keep you at that level, then your body can adapt to the things around it. Again, remember I said you can't pick up all the banana peels, but you can do the best you possibly can. You start with having a properly functioning nerve system, and then you make sure that you keep it there, and then you start to get rid of the toxicities, you start to take care of the body along the way. Now, here's my best example for this. Health equals 100% function. If I take, those of you that were at dinner, I did this at dinner. If I tie that rubber band around my finger, it's pretty tight. You guys see what's happening to it in the back there? You guys see how it's turning purple and blue? If I leave it there, what's going to happen? It's going to eventually shrivel up and die, right? Now, right now it doesn't feel too bad, but it's kind of like starting to get a little bit of tingling to it, and it's going to start to go numb, and it's going to start to throb a little bit, and eventually it's going to start to smell because it's going to start to rot. The flesh is going to rot, and if I leave it on there, it's going to eventually die, right? Now, so if I look at this, what can I do to help this out? I could take it off, but what if I think medically? I could come here and I could massage it. If I'm massaging it right now, man, it's pretty cold actually. If I massage it, it feels a little better. But once I'm done massaging it, what happens? The problem's still there, isn't it? Now I could exercise it. That makes it feel a little bit better for a little bit. But what's still there? The problem's still there. I could inject it with something. I could take a pill that makes me forget about it. I could take a painkiller, right? I could take a Vicodin and make me forget about that pain, right? But it doesn't solve the problem, right? So the only thing that's going to solve that problem is to do what? I've got to take the pressure off. And so do you guys realize this is the same thing that we do as Americans? All you've been brainwashed to be taught your whole life is to keep covering your symptoms up. That's it. So at some point in time, you've got to step in and start to find out, why is my body not healing, not doing the things that I'm supposed to do? So if you're a patient here, I encourage you, stay on track with your schedule, okay? Stay on track with your home exercises and stretches. The home exercises and stretches allow us to keep your body moving this way on days that you're not here, not getting adjusted. That allows us to get to a place of stabilization even better. Now, if you're not a patient here, if you're a guest here, I encourage you highly to get set up for an appointment in our office. Typically we do those for $60, but we're doing it for $40 for the class today. So if you've never been checked up by a chiropractor, you don't have a chiropractor to go to, I know you go to a Gonstead chiropractor, but if you don't have somebody, come get checked up. We'll take the x-rays of you. We'll find out what exactly is going on there. We'll see what we can do to help you out. If you're a patient here though, okay, stay diligent with it. I'm not just talking about now. What's going to happen is you get your body working this way. Yes, it's going to get rid of some of the aches and pains. I have people that have been here for 5 years that have a little bit of back pain every now and again. Well, guess why they still have that? They still do a lot of the negative things. They still have toxins that they're putting in their bodies. They still sit all day long for 8 hours, right? I mean, you can't overcome some certain things, right? Like as chiropractors, we're sitting here bent over you guys, all day long, right? So even me, I've been adjusted for 27 years. I still have every now and again where I'll have disc problems in my low back. Why? Because I played rugby, I played baseball, I did stupid things in college and at Palmer, and so I did all kinds of stupid stuff to my body. Well, my body's still trying to overcome it still to this day. So you can't eliminate all the things, but all you can do is you can say, okay, let's keep your body obviously moving and going in the right direction. I love this quote by B.J. Palmer. While all other professions are concerned with changing the environment to suit the weakened body, chiropractic is concerned with strengthening the body to suit the environment. You can't change what's around you, and chemicals are going to keep coming at us. If you have to sit 8 hours a day at work, you have to sit 8 hours a day. If you have to stand on your feet all day long, you have to do these things, right? If you're in the video editing and all kinds of good stuff, you're going to be at a computer a lot, right? So you can't change those things. But what you can do is you can make sure that your body can adapt to what its environment is around it. That's the best way you can possibly do it. That's all we focused on for the last 3 years. We stayed open the last 3 years. Actually, Rona was very nerve-wracking. Was it nerve-wracking for some of you guys too, right? Like where you're going to get your toilet paper, right? Stuff like that. You guys remember that, right? Yeah. Dang it, how can I go in here? I don't have a mask, so all this kind of stuff. We stayed open the whole time. And I had people that had Rona. I had medical doctors that had Rona, and I went over to their house because they were afraid to go out of the house. I'm like, I'm going to come adjust you. And they're like, well, how do you have such confidence that you can come adjust me during this time and not wear a mask, not wear rubber gloves or anything like that? I said, because my body's worked so hard for 27 years to become so strong that it's bigger than what's chemically out there right now. And there was a lot of false narrative that came with that, obviously, too. On top, you guys have all seen it now come out on the other side of it. But the reality is that I know that I've got to keep working on my body and keep strengthening it along the way. And it's all about that, because you can't change your environment, but you can actually take care of your body. So if you're a guest here, the ladies will talk to you about a new patient exam if you want to come get a checkup. Patients, recommit to your home care and your supplements, regular adjustments. If you guys need to, on this sheet right here, if you guys want to get, this is the 20% off for supplements if you guys have, if you want to get some of the detox systems, just put your name on this, put your name on it, how you want to pay for it. And we have to, some of the stuff we have to order because we didn't get the shipment in today, because I think because of 51 being shut down and all kinds of stuff, there's probably all kinds of reasons why we didn't get their stuff today. But definitely, if you guys want supplements, fill that out before you guys leave, hand it to the ladies at the front. And last things last, connect us. get in touch. Talk to Michaela for testing or detoxing if you guys want more deeper plans for this stuff. Also, if you guys want us to come out to your school, your church, your business, we come out on a regular basis. These guys just went out to a hair salon. They came out to Arborbrook recently. Michaela came out to Arborbrook recently. Dr. Joelle was at Arborbrook today for anatomy class. Did you know that? She was in Mangus's class today. And so we'll come out. We'll come out and we'll go anywhere because I feel like this message needs to be heard. And the thing is that you're not going to ever see this in mainstream media. In fact, you're not going to see this much on YouTube because they're scrubbing that. You're not going to see it much on Facebook because these avenues are not free speech anymore. They're being heavily funded. Again, back to money again, right? They're being censored in massive ways. So we need to get this information out to as many people as possible. So just talk to the ladies. If you guys know, if you're having a festival or an event at your church or work or school, tell us. We'll go anywhere. We've got enough people. We got so many people. We got so many people on payroll right now. We got to put people to work now. So Dr. Marielle is here, so we're good. So any questions for me? Good. Okay, so here, overwhelming, right? A lot of stuff. Okay, so how do you start?
One day at a time.
One day at a time. So here's how you start. Is you start to, number one, look at the supplements. What is probably one of the supplements that I need? Because that's an easy way to start because it's adding something instead of taking something away, right? So you can start there. Number two, then you start to look at how do I start to eliminate something? Start with one room. Start with your kitchen. Start with your bathroom. Start with your cosmetics. Just start with one thing. Don't go home and ditch everything, okay? Okay, that's not smart, okay? But start to pick things, and when you run out of something, you go to EWG and you say, okay, well, what can I replace this with along the way? How do I do this? And that's the easiest way to start. And again, if you haven't had your nerve system checked, that's the other way, easy way to start too. So, cool? Questions? I'll sit up here and answer some questions for you guys for a little bit. Give yourself a round of applause for coming out on a Monday night. I love that. It's probably about half the size that we were supposed to have. I think we were supposed to have double the size here, but the true troopers came out. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Have a good night.